What is up, ladies and gents? You know what time of day it is. It's XC. What is up, ladies and gents? In today's video, we're going to be talking all about Swftcoin. I'm going to be giving you my price prediction here for Swftcoin over the coming days, as well as my targets for Swftcoin in 2025. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to this channel. It's great to have you all here. So, of course, we're going to be diving straight into this video, and we're going to start off with the shorter term here on Swftcoin. So, we're on the 1 hour chart right now. And of course, what we're seeing here on the chart, in my opinion, is some sort of consolidation here on Swftcoin. Of course, Swftcoin had this lovely rally going on 9th to 11th of April. We saw basically a 3x in the price here. And since then, we've seen this sideways consolidation. We saw that nice little pump there on the 27th of April, which gave us this upper resistance that we can be looking out for. Of course, here on the bottom, we've also got something that looks a little bit like this. And so what you guys are seeing here right now is, in my opinion, a triangle formation. Of course, as the next few days play out here on Swftcoin, in my opinion, I believe we could potentially see a breakout to the upside. Of course, generally speaking, we are in a new bullish trend here on crypto. The reason why I think that is because if we have a look at Bitcoin, this is the scenario that we have seen. Of course, Bitcoin is the leader of all of cryptocurrency here, and essentially you can see that for the past 3 months Bitcoin has been in this downtrend, and just as of the 22nd of April we had a massive breakout from this upper resistance here, which, mind you, has kept Bitcoin in this downtrend for 3 months. And now we've seen a massive pump to 95k, smashing past key areas of resistance. And in my opinion, this is the start of a new bullish trend. And I think that sooner rather than later, we are going to see Bitcoin hit new all-time highs. And of course, if Bitcoin is doing that, that's going to pull the rest of the market up as well. Of course, here for Swftcoin, that could mean that we break out of this triangle type structure. And we could be looking at a price target here on Swftcoin of this distance from wherever we break out. Of course, let's say that occurs within the next few days. That would take Swftcoin here to nearly to 2.7 cents. So it's a 61% trade if we do see a clear breakout to the upside from this triangle. Of course, guys, if you are looking for a great place to buy or trade any Swftcoin, then look no further than the MEX exchange. This is the exchange that I use for all my trading because they don't require KYC. They have some of the lowest trading fees, and for a very limited time, they're giving every new user who signs up using the link in the description down below a free $20. So if you want to make use of that offer, again, click in that link in the description down below. It takes less than a minute to do so. Deposit some fiat or crypto into your MEX account and they'll give you that $20 straight away. So you can, for example, buy some Swftcoin or long any such breakout. So, of course, guys, thank you for supporting this video. Let's get back into Swftcoin. So, this is the scenario that we could be looking at here on Swftcoin. We do have a very bullish picture, in my opinion, because Bitcoin is starting to break out. But no Swftcoin video would be complete without mentioning what Onyx Coin is doing. Because, of course, at the end of the day, Swftcoin cannot escape the fact that these two coins move basically in tandem. In fact, what will be better to show you is if I just get XCN straight onto this chart here, we can see that these two move almost in sync. Of course, every pump here on Swftcoin has basically been accompanied by a pump on Onyx Coin and vice versa. That 3-month dump that we had here on Swftcoin, Onyx Coin was almost exactly the same. So in my opinion, if we're going to see XCN pump, then we're also going to see quite a nice pump here on Swftcoin as well. And basically, my previous video detailed on what I'm thinking here for XCN. Of course, at the moment, we are doing very, very well on XCN, in my opinion. We've got this long-term resistance that we see connecting the highs here on Onyx Coin. On Swftcoin, it's a little bit different. We don't get that clean resistance. We kind of get something that could look a little bit like this, but it's definitely a cleaner resistance here on Onyx Coin. We also have a support that looks like this. And of course, as you guys can see, this is a parallel support and resistance over the price for the past few months. And if we see a breakout to the upside, so let's say Onyx Coin does something like this, which again, I think it will, then we could see a massive price target here on its coin of 14.4 cents. While we don't quite see that same bull flag here on Swftcoin, we can kind of draw something that looks a little bit like this, I guess. If Onyx coin is making that massive move up to 14.4 cents as a result from the breakout of this bull flags type structure, then we are going to see Swftcoin fly as well. That we basically know, because the correlation between these two coins has been so close. So in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before we start to see a move up here on Swftcoin. I do believe that something big could happen within the next few days to the next few weeks because of what Bitcoin and the whole market is doing with this new bullish trend. And basically here for Swftcoin, my price targets still become what? My price targets for 2025 lie along these fib levels. Of course, these are the Fibonacci retracement levels that we have here for Swftcoin. And just like Onyx coin, Swftcoin really does respect these fib levels. You can see that, for example, on the way down here, the prices have really respected these fib levels as places of support and resistance. So using the same logic, if we start to see a pump here on Swftcoin, then if we can break past this resistance heading on the way down, we start to see a rally here on Onyx coin. Then on Swftcoin, my price targets, in my opinion, become these upper fib levels here. These three fibs are ones that I'm paying attention to if we see a massive rally in altcoins such as XCN. And obviously that gives us the first price target. And of course that first fib level there gives us the price target of 7.5 cents. If we can break past that one, the next fib there is around the 10 cents region, the 1.414 fib. And that should be quite important because, you know, 10 cents here for Swftcoin should be quite a big psychological level. For example, like 100k Bitcoin, we should expect to be quite a resistance at that level. So if we do get to this region, that could be a major top for Swftcoin. If we are able to crack past that 10 cents region, then we've got the most important fib here, the 1.618 fib, telling us we can get as high as 14 cents here on Swftcoin in 2025. So that's definitely something to look forward to. Of course, one of the major reasons why I'm also bullish here in the shorter term as well as the longer term here for Swftcoin is the fact that if we look at this chart here, we see that this black line here, this global liquidity, is really correlated with crypto. So this red line is specifically Bitcoin, but we know Bitcoin and crypto generally tend to move in tandem. So by extension, this global liquidity is correlated with the crypto market. And as you can see, we've seen global liquidity absolutely explode. That means there's generally more money in the system, and that means that naturally more of it flows into crypto. And essentially, we are about here now on this chart. So we've still got this whole major rally ahead of us according to the global liquidity. And of course, as you can see, the correlation is undeniable between crypto and this global liquidity. So this, over the next few months, should be a powerful narrative, not just for Bitcoin, but for the whole of crypto, for it to go much higher. So that's something I'm really paying attention to over the next few weeks and months. And that could honestly give us a decent altcoin season here. And it should allow coins like Swftcoin to absolutely flourish. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here right now on Swftcoin. At the end of the day, it's highly correlated with XCN, which I think is very beneficial because XCN is showing us this massive bull flag style pattern. In the shorter term as well, I've shown you guys this sort of triangle that I'm looking for, and that could give us an immediate price target there of 2.8 cents. If we can crack that, the previous all-time high here on Swftcoin should be coming pretty soon after. So those are my thoughts at the moment. Very finally as well, just taking a quick look at the MACD. On the one-day chart, the MACD at the moment is showing us that we are above this dashed line here at 0, meaning that generally speaking, the trend is showing us something quite bullish. We are about to get a potential crossover of the two lines here on the MACD, which is traditionally a sell signal. But the support line here for Swftcoin is quite nearby where the price is right now. So for example, if we see something like this over the next few days, then maybe we don't get a clear crossover as prices, you know, kind of bounce like this, for example. And of course, since we're starting on a new macro bullish trend, I do think that the upside here on Swftcoin is instead more likely. Of course, just to cover both scenarios, if the prices do mean meaningfully fall below this level here. So if we go below 1.3 cents here on Swiftcoin and we start to do something like this, we of course then get that crossover on the MACD as well. And this, guys, would be pretty bearish. That would probably mean that in the short term we do something a little bit more like this before we start to see a recovery once again. So that's that bearish scenario, just in case we fall down below the support. But as long as we can keep the support here, I am still biased towards bullish here on Swiftcoin in the shorter term as well as the longer term. So of course, hope this video was helpful for you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you are holding any Swiftcoin. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video.